Good afternoon, fellow traders. It's Black Coffee Trader coming to you on a Friday, March the 21st. And the good news is we had the best green day of the month, one of the best green days I've had in a while, coming off the bad red day yesterday. So let's just say that my mood is a lot better today than it was yesterday. And as bad, the unfortunate turn of events and how things didn't go well yesterday, the complete opposite was true today. Just one of the things I did not do is to tighten up my stops. I left my stops alone, and honestly, we just had a really good day of trading and walked away with a $2,200 green across all the funded accounts. Very, very happy about that. Let's take a quick look at the week. As far as each individual count, we managed to stay green for the week. So today, $22.69 worth, had a $3,000 profit week, and each individual account was green. We made money across the board. So even though yesterday we had the big red day on 4 of the accounts, and we had a loss on the week through yesterday, we did make that back today with $170-some win across those 4. So we're slightly green, not a lot, but we are slightly green. Most of the accounts, these 3 oldest accounts with Apex, were up almost $450 this week. My Tradeify accounts are doing very well. 800 on the one account, 405 on the new one, day 2. And yeah, so we've had a very good week. It bounced back on a $2,200 green day on the back of that $3,500 red day. Feels really, really, really good. Let's dive into TradeZeller real quick, and I'll show you that before we get into the trades themselves. Just an excellent day. $2,000, $2,200, 72% win rate, which is really good. And my average win to loss is spectacular, almost 5. So $118 the average winner, the average loser only 24. I'm really, really happy about that. And just looking at the stats down here below, we're back up to over 4,000 on the month, and we put together 3 straight green weeks, and this week being the best of the month so far, up 3,000. So very, very happy. One of the things also to point out, and I forgot to load my trade. Wait a minute. For some reason, this is not showing the R multiple. I did load all that stuff. Let's just double check here. Yep, I loaded all that stuff in here, so it should be here. For some reason, I must have changed a setting. Not sure what I did, but I changed a setting somewhere that... I'm not going to bore you guys with it, but basically, we had about a 6 to 7 R positive risk to reward on these days, and I think this day we were positive 5. Yesterday we were negative about 5, and today we were positive about 5 again. So I've had a really, really, really good week when it comes to risk management. And the reason the R factor is as good as it is, even though you're not seeing it here, is because I've really done a good job of letting my trades run. And so anyway, but diving into today, so I had a game plan this morning, and I'm so happy I did. I had a good game plan, and it worked out, even though the move didn't quite happen what I was looking for. Let me just talk you through that. So in the overnight, let's just zoom out. So we can see that yesterday we closed, I think we closed up here. We closed up here around the 900s yesterday, and we kind of had a trickle down in the overnight. And in this morning session, in the pre-market, I saw this tumble below this key 750 area. The 750 area, whoops, is this Sunday night hold that has really come into play this week. And then we also had these holds over the last couple of days in that same area. Midweek, we turned this into kind of a rejection. And so we had support, turned to rejection, turned back to support. And so today, this morning, when I saw that, when we started flirting below that, as soon as we dipped below here and we consolidated, I took this short as a breakdown of this level and got out of there with a really nice $175 trade. That was the only trade I took on these bottom 4 accounts. Those were the accounts that I had the big loss on yesterday. So I really wanted to get a good trade on those. And that was the first one of the day, and it worked out extremely well. At that point, and that was around 8:30 this morning, at that point, I really solidified my game plan of really looking for a break and retest of the 750. That was what I wanted to see. I wanted to see the market dip down at open, push back up, retest this, and flush back down. That was what I was looking for. The other thing I was looking for is possible longs off the 600s if the 600s hold. If you go to the weekly or the 15-minute chart here, kind of looking at this week and into last week, this 600 has been a very, very, very big level down here. We held that during last week, and we've also held it this week. We double bottomed it this week as well, and so that was a very good place to look for longs. So that was the only trade on these accounts, and now we flip to this market open. This morning I did take the 940 trade. It did trigger long, and I was not convinced. Let me put it this way. I just wasn't confident, and I'm a little bit sad because had I entered that trade with like 4 contracts like I typically do, I could have walked away with about a $600 to $700 trade, because the way this works, if that trade triggers, and I usually take it with 4 contracts, once I reach 20 points in profit, I move my stop to break even, and once I hit 40 points in profit, I move my stop to 20 points. And so I kind of trail that, and then I let it go. The high of day today would have been up 260 points from that specific level. Why is this not? Here we go. Oh. That would have been all the way up here. So had I just done that, we could have had a monster trade. And I guess that's why on a mechanical trade like that, it's probably best to just let the chips fall where they may and decide to take the trade or not take the trade. But we did take it. I took it on 2 contracts out with only about $100 and some in profit. So, and I just, yeah, I missed a big opportunity. But anyway, that's the 940 trade. I then took on these specific, well, let me just back up. We'll come back to these accounts because that was trade number 2. Trade number 3 was on my top group with the Tradeify and these top 3 Apex accounts. As you can see, those are up over 200 a piece. Really good trade. So here's what I was looking for. I talked about earlier. I was looking for this breakdown. I took this short, and I was expecting this to retest this area. The other thing that was really in play at that time is VWAP was coming down into this level. So we had the blue line, which is yesterday's low. We had this 750 key level, and we had VWAP all converging. And so that was really what set up my trade idea. I did front run it a little bit, and this is kind of typical of me. I have a tough time being patient. So you can see this move coming up, and we wicked off here, and then we wicked this candle again. And I said, gosh, maybe not, maybe it's not going to fully test. Maybe it's going to fall apart. So I entered short here with 4 contracts, got out here with 2 for about an $80 winner, and then I did stop out here. I just didn't like it and killed the trade. That was a net positive trade by about $60, nothing crazy. I then re-entered the trade here, and I went short with 5. I think I went short with 5 contracts. I put on a decent size because one of the things I need to work on is if I have a trade plan and a setup, shooters got to shoot, man. And if the trade is there, I'm going to take it with some size. And that's what I did. And I'm glad I did, because had I not done that, we probably wouldn't have had this kind of profit. So I entered the short when we wick tested right here, perfectly off yesterday's low. I entered the short here, got out here with on 3 contracts at 120 in profit, took the 4th one up here at $50, and I finally took the last one over here at another almost $60, and that's really what put this trade into profit. So I probably should have held and allowed this to test and taken maybe full advantage of this. My real goal was that this is going to flush back down to the 600s, and it just didn't. And it was kind of a precursor to the rest of the day and how the move actually happened the rest of the day. Because as you can see, if you were trading today, you can see, I mean, this thing really just kind of chopped around until I think Trump started speaking here this afternoon, and we just went to the moon. Just would have been a beautiful move. But so I'm happy. I'm really happy that I had this game plan and I capitalized on it. We actually managed to extract a couple $100 off the market in this little trade. The good news is, had this been a really strong move back to the downside and a strong rejection, we could have capitalized and had a monster trade on there. So I'm really going to try to do a better job of doing a more of a pre-market analysis on what's the setup I'm looking for. I think too often I'm looking at, well, if we get to this level, I'm going to do this. If we get to this level, I'll do this. And I do need to do that, but I also want to have these game plans where, okay, I think we're going to break down and we're going to retest this level, or I think we're going to come down, we're going to hit a level, and we're going to rebound, and so I'm really going to look off of longs on a certain spot or whatever. I think if I do that, and when so basically create a game plan, and then when that happens, take that trade with some size, I think it would serve me really, really well. So anyway, that was that. So that was trade number 2 and 3, really kind of, or trade number 1, trade number 2, trade number 3. And that really put all the accounts into green. And I was going to walk away. And then we had this little, again, test of this level. And I decided to take it with these middle accounts where I took the 940. And I only took it on 1 micro. And I'm glad I did. I took this little price action short here. This is where I got out of that other trade, the main trade I was looking for. When I got out of that trade, I took it 1 contract here. Caught a little flush here, this kind of the bottom side of this, and then here when we started to retest this, I took this short and we just couldn't break down. After these first 2, I only lost like $50 on 2 trades because I had 1 micro and I just didn't allow the trade to go too negative. But I almost didn't take it again, but we again kind of wicked down, and I did get out of there with a nice little trade. So basically this ended up being about a wash. But when we couldn't break down, I thought to myself, we're probably going to move higher. But at this point, I decided I'm done for the day. I didn't lock myself out. I just mentally walked away. I do use Guardian Angel Trader, and oftentimes I'll lock myself out so that I don't do something stupid. But I just decided that I also need to have the mental wherewithal to walk away and not just have, you know, a software locking me out. So I could take another trade if I wanted to, but I decided I'm not going to. And I'm glad I didn't, because boy, this would have been a really nice move. The problem is, where's the entry? This is a tough spot for me, because I would watch this and I thought I would just grab an eval, and if we get a break and retest, I would go long, but there was no retest. It was just complete shooting to the moon. So, and this is just not very good price action for me. So anyway, done this morning. It's afternoon now when I'm doing this update, but we've been done for quite some time and I'm happy about it. So walked away with a really nice green day, and the month continues to move on in a very positive manner. I'm very happy about that. So last but not least, just a quick little reminder that the flash sale with Apex is ending at midnight tonight. So if you need some evals and you choose to use code BCT, I appreciate it. Thank you for those of you that do, but that sale is going on until midnight tonight. Also, the take profit deal is still going on, 30% off and no additional fees. I do have some evals that I'm working on, and one of the things I'm going to have to tell you, I started to copy, instead of actually trading my evals. I hate trading evals. I really do. It's just time consuming, and it feels like I take subpar trades because I want to trade my funded accounts. And so I had the idea, why not take Replicanto, and like here, for example, is my leader account on the top 5. So I'm trading with my Tradeify account and the 2 Tradeifys and these 3 Apex. And then on these evals, my take profit and this Tradeify eval, I'm going in on the Tradeify at 3x, and on the take profit, I'm going in at 2x. And so these two, over 2 days, I'm up about $1,000 and $1,100 on the take profit and the Tradeify accounts. Yesterday with the big red day, we lost a lot of money on these Apex evals. We did push some of it back today, gained about $400 per account. This one here, I traded it just by myself and almost lost it. I traded it separately and almost lost it. But anyway, I like this. I really like this. I like using this trade copier and just adding, increasing the size on the eval. That way I get to take my trade that I typically take on my funded account, and I benefit on the eval side of things. So I'm probably going to do that a little bit more to pass these 50Ks rather than just do what I did today on this specific one. Matter of fact, I tried to pass this one on this move right here. I was looking for a rejection and almost blew it. So I don't know if I can keep it, but it doesn't really matter. It is what it is. But I just wanted to show you that I decided to do that trade copier and kind of like it. So, but anyway, we're going to walk away. It's a great day. It's been a great week. And bouncing back on the bad red day with the best green day of the month really feels good. So, all right, I'll leave you with that and wish you guys a great weekend. Hope you had a good week of trading, and we'll be back at it next week. So until next time, take care and so long.